Less than a week ago, my family and I arrived at our home in Merida, Mexico, and I could not be happier with the experience that we've had so far. Now, we have seen some of our favorite places, we've seen a few new places, but the number one thing that I can take away from just the few days that we've been here on our 1 month journey is that some things stay the same, some things change, but the change here is for the better. Let's roll the intro. Now, for those of you who don't know me, and to give you a bit of context, my name is Alexander Howell, and a few years back, my wife and I took our children on a sabbatical to Merida, Mexico on the Yucatan Peninsula, and absolutely fell in love with this place, so much so that we ended up purchasing a property. Now, thanks to COVID and a few other factors, the planning for and renovation of the property took a lot longer than we thought it would, but now, as you can see here, we live in an absolutely amazing place and are very happy about it. Now, we know that we chose the right city, we know that we chose the right realtor and architect, and this is the end result of it. Now, where we are right now is actually in the 2-bedroom apartment that we built on top of the original structure. Right below me, if you can see the green behind me, just below me is actually where the pool and kind of the main places are in the home. And if you want to see any videos from that journey, please feel free to contact me via all of the information down below. You can follow me on Instagram at Alexander from KC, like Kansas City. And that's pretty much where everything is, at Alexander from KC, whether it be Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and the like. You can also text me. I have the number down below, but it's 816-727-7740. My website's alexanderhowell.com, and my email is pretty much the same thing. It's alexander at alexanderhowell.com. If you have any longer form questions, and since I've been down here, I've seen a few of you guys send me some of those, so I very much appreciate that. There's also Facebook groups and all kinds of things that I will cover at the end, but that information is all down below. And by the way, if you do like this video, hit the like button. And if you want to see more of these, click the subscribe button. I'm probably going to be going live over the weekend. So if you want to see live streaming, also hit that notification bell. That's going to let you know anytime that one of these videos goes out, or I'm live streaming, you can ask me questions live. So getting back to it, we've been here for about a week. So first things first, we arrived at our home. Now, this is obviously through Houston and all of the fun adventures that we had coming down here. But once we got the cab and got to the house, we walked in and it was just as beautiful as we remember. But I will say there was one thing that kind of hit me a bit and my wife a bit as we went through the home, and that was it felt like it had been lived in a little bit more than we were anticipating. Now, obviously, we Airbnb the property when we're not here, thanks to our friends at Henry Ponce, who he was the guy that was the architect and the builder for the property, but he's also taken over as property manager as well. And as you know, when you live in a property, certain things happen to it. It's nothing big, it's just wear and tear on the property, and we just kind of were expecting it to look brand new like the first time that we came here. And it didn't. So all I can say is just get used to that little bitty disappointment, but for the most part, we walked in and we're just as enamored as we were the first time. We saw the courtyard, we saw the pool, we saw our master bedroom, we opened up everything, saw all the lighting, got the air conditioners running, and within about 30 minutes, this place was cooled down and perfect for us. So overall positive for 1 year is that the place is still the exact same place that we remember. It's still just as beautiful. It is amazing. I'm just telling people that end up buying down here, one of the things, if you are going to rent the property out, make sure that you just have expectations kind of in check when you arrive at your property. It is going to feel like somebody was living here for a bit, but again, I mean, look at this. We're in paradise, and I absolutely love it. Now, Merida overall is an amazing place, and one of the reasons for that is because they continuously invest in the city. And the two places that I've noticed that the most so far are Calle 47, which for those of you who don't know is kind of a gastronomic corridor that they're trying to build out, and also Grand Park of La Plancha, which is a park that is actually just that way, just north of us from our location. Now, first Calle 47, again, it's a gastronomic district, a lot of foodies, a lot of restaurants are in that area. And about 2 years ago, they decided that they were going to make that kind of a walkable space. And for those of you who don't know the city really well, the main area, the main street is called Paseo de Montejo, and then Grand Park of La Plancha is on the east side of that. And in between that, there is a street called Calle 47. Calle means street, number 47. So there's a street there. They have basically walled that off thanks to construction, and they are making that a foodie corridor basically between those two landmarks. And I can tell you that they're not quite done yet, but it is turning out to be absolutely beautiful. The work and dedication that they put into it, the bricks that they're laying in the street, the amount of infrastructure investment that they have made, I think is going to make that quite the space. And we had a wonderful time at a restaurant called Katrine that is on Calle 47. We had to apologize to a few construction workers there because we had to hop over some of the areas where they were working in order to get to the other side of the street, but they're very kind. But we went to Katrine and they had an amazing little light show, a little skeleton guy in the back, very cool, amazing food. But I would absolutely recommend Katrine on Calle 47, along with checking out pretty much everything there. Now, the other major amazing project is Grand Park of La Plancha. Now, this is near and dear to our heart because of how close it is, but it should also be near and dear to most everybody's heart who was thinking about coming to Merida, because it is going to be where the tram picks you up to eventually take you to the Mayan train, or Tren Maya. So they're going to have basically the place that you get picked up via tram, and then you get transported out to where the stop is for Tren Maya. But the work that they are putting into this place is absolutely amazing. Now, on our Facebook group, which is Travel the Number 2 Merida, or Travel to Merida, on Facebook groups, we have shown, some of the members have shown, I've shown some videos and some pictures of what's going on down there. But it is absolutely amazing. And I would absolutely recommend that you follow that and check out some of the videos that I made on it, because what they are building there looks like it's going to be beautiful. So they have the main kind of park at the north side of the property, which is a little bit further from us, but about a block and a half from us is where there's a school, and there was a railroad museum right behind it. They are redoing pretty much everything from there up to that Grand Park. They say it's going to be completed by next year based on my knowledge of construction and what I've seen there. I think that's a pretty good timing if they continue to put in the effort that they are now. But based on where we are, it's looking pretty amazing. So I would recommend coming. If you're not going to come this year, I think next year, keep track of those two projects. That will be a fantastic time to come down here, because you'll have Calle 47, and then you take a nice walk up to the Grand Park of La Plancha, and you're going to have a great day. Now, the next piece is about visiting the old and how it's kind of new again. I think, to give you a little side story, my wife and I both graduated from the University of Missouri in Columbia, and about once, twice a year, we'll go down there and we have to do the loop, which is we have to go get a beer at Heidelberg, we have to go get pizza at Shakespeare's Pizza, we have to have a nice meal at CC Broiler, and we have to pick up the frozen drinks at Tropical Liqueurs. And it's kind of the same thing, almost a mirror image when we get down here. First time, we have to walk Paseo de Montejo, we have to go to Hennessy's. We can pretty much do anything, but if we have a night alone with just me and my wife, then, we don't have the kids, so we get to sit at the bar, which we don't get to do very often anymore, but we get a drink there, maybe get an appetizer, and then we go to a few different places, Eladio's, Crapster, and the like. Now, that's just because those are the places that we went to originally, but I can tell you that what is old feels new again, because there's always something that's just amazing about having those experiences. So again, we went to Hennessy's, absolutely amazing. It's kind of the expat hub, if you will, of Paseo de Montejo and Merida in general, if we're being honest. And then we also, last night, took our kids down to Plaza Grande and got the obligatory picture of them in front of the Merida sign. We also looked at the Cathedral de Merida. I kind of explained the historical significance of some of the buildings, like Francisco de Mateo's house and the like. So that was really cool. They got to see some pretty amazing architecture, have some tortas, and we were very, very happy. And that is Plaza Grande, kind of the main place that you kind of have to go when you're in Merida. But as far as our neighborhood is concerned, which is kind of the Merida and Chenbec area, we went to a restaurant that is near and dear to our hearts called El Templo. Now, this is on the street, but kind of off the street is where you end up sitting. But they have amazing food, cold beer, all kinds of good stuff, and, cold drinks for the kids too. But it's just a little bitty place that has absolutely amazing service, stellar food, stellar drinks. And if you happen to be by Parque de la Maharada at some point, go in there, hop in, have some good food, and just, enjoy the fact that I sent you there and that you absolutely enjoyed it. But it's a wonderful place. It's more of a neighborhood place, and just going to all of those different areas again, it just brings you back to all of the fun experiences that you've had. So now let's get a bit into the big trip that we've had so far. Now, my wife and I decided that we didn't want to just take a day trip up to Progreso like we normally do. We wanted to take a little bit more time and have at least a night over. Now, we looked at a bunch of hotels, couldn't really decide, but by the time we ended up booking, we had one chance to get a junior suite at Hotel Linda in Progreso. Now, for those of you who don't know, Hotel Linda is pretty much right in the center of the Malecon. So it's right off of the major pier. It's right by the ADO bus station. It's right on the Malecon. So it's a wonderful location if you're trying to stay somewhere. Now, what I will tell you is that that perfect location, in my opinion, kind of comes with a bit of a negative side. Now, I don't know how many different places are there. Again, we kind of went with what we could at that point. It does have stellar reviews. But one thing that I did notice is it would be a great place to stay for a couple, or even with us for a family, for a night or two. But as far as staying for any longer than that, we got a junior suite, which meant that we had a little kitchen area. So we had the stove top, we had the sink, we had the microwave, we had a refrigerator and freezer. But for the most part, it is a very kind of basic style place. It is without question very nice. It was very clean. The people there were amazing. They were incredibly friendly, wonderful. The check-in, check-out was incredibly speedy. But as far as thinking about it like a 5-star hotel, let's just say you're not going to get that there. It's a wonderful place. It's a clean place, but I would not say it's a 5-star place. But if you're looking for a place to hang your bags, to go to sleep at night, maybe have a drink on the patio at night, Hotel Linda, absolutely amazing. Oh, and by the way, I've been calling it Hotel Linda this entire time. It's actually Hotel Playa Linda, so I apologize for that. But again, fantastic location, great if you're going to hang out on the beach, walk the Malecon most of the day, just come in at night for some good sleeps, a little shower, and then head back out. But if you're going to stay in the hotel, like if you see in the forecast that it's raining, I would personally say maybe try to find another spot or just plan your trip for another time, just because it would be a little rough to hang out there 24/7 while you're staying and you're looking at the beach and it's raining, that kind of thing. So you kind of get what I'm saying. But again, what's old is new again. So we ended up stopping at La Antigua. For those of you who have followed this channel for some time, again, like and subscribe. If you're still here, you probably are enjoying the video a bit. But for those of you who have been a part of the channel for a long time, you know that we went to La Antigua for a couple of breakfasts. Our first stay here when we weren't actually in the city of Merida, but we were actually in Guaymatún, a township that's kind of east of Progreso. And La Antigua was amazing, but I found their club sandwich and I had that for breakfast and everybody made fun of me because it's a club sandwich and I'm in Mexico. But if you go there and you order, you're going to find out exactly why it's amazing. But we had an amazing time. Staff was fantastic. It's a great place, amazing deck, and the food, fantastic. My kids love the pancakes, so if you like breakfast food, then you're going to like the pancakes. And as always, you got to stop in Crabster. Now, there are two locations. There's one on Paseo 60, which is the complex on the west side of Paseo de Montejo, and that's a great place too. But this one is kind of open. It's on the Malecon and it faces the ocean, so you get a nice breeze coming in there. We stopped in there at night, got the crispy crabster. They're now serving pizza, so we got a margarita pizza. Kind of shared that amongst the four of us and ate like pigs. And also the milk bar down the street is now La Michoacan, which is an ice cream parlor. And my kids can probably give you a better review than that, but they seem to like it quite a bit. And for those of you who are looking to stop in Progreso for the very first time, I would tell you that the beach is absolutely amazing. Now, it does have white sand, but it's not going to be the white sand that you see in Cancun that's very fine, very thin, and it's easy to walk around. A lot of times you're going to see seashells, and especially as you walk into the ocean, I would recommend the first time maybe going a little slow, because you're going to have like a seashell barrier for about 3 feet as you walk in. And if you've got sensitive feet like me, it's not going to feel good. It's going to feel like you're walking across gravel. But the beach overall is massive. It's huge. There's tons of palapas where the restaurants can come and give you food and drinks and all kinds of different things. But it's a wonderful place to take kids, or just take yourself and enjoy the beach. And again, it's the Gulf of Mexico. It's not the Cancun side where you've got the nice churning of the ocean and those blue turquoise waters. A lot of times it's blue out there, but it's kind of green closer, and it's not as clear as you could be. But I'm used to the Lake of the Ozarks, so clear for me is exactly what's in Progreso. I'm used to the muddy waters down there, so this is a very beautiful place. The longest pier in the world provides a nice little picturesque moment there. And the only complaint that I have are the amount of people that are asking you for different things. Now, that is just what it is down here. It's a very tourist area. The reason that the pier is there is so that you have cruise ships coming in, which there are quite a few of them now that COVID's done. But there are a lot of people asking you for money to buy their trinkets and toys and stuff like that. I just say, no gracias, amigo, and we're pretty much good to go. But as you leave the beach and you walk up and down the Malecon, you're going to notice something that was absolutely, I'm saying absolutely a lot on this video. I got to stop that. That was incredible to me, and that was the amount of investment on the Malecon. Now, everybody knows about the Meteorite Museum now. It looks absolutely, I did it again. It looks incredible. It looks beautiful. But up and down the street, you're going to see new restaurants. You're going to see ads for developments. They're building condos and rentals and all kinds of different things. And just the side of the Malecon that's on the west side looks like it's starting to kind of get the investment. My assumption is that as that grows and as that becomes newer, it's going to kind of creep to the east side. So some of the older structures are probably going to go down. I know that's not going to make a lot of people happy, but there's just the sheer amount of money that you see on that west side of the Malecon is incredible. So I would recommend staying on the east side, enjoying that area, and then when you want to see the new stuff, linger on down there and you're going to find a place that it's booming pretty good. And also when you go down there, if you want a beach club, go to Silster. It's just about 2-3 blocks past the end of the Malecon, and you get a nice little place. We went there last year. It was great. So the Malecon is as beautiful as you've ever seen it. There's money going into it to make the news new, and the older buildings are kind of being revamped. You can tell there's a lot of construction down there, which is great for the area. Again, the only thing that I can say is let's cut down on the catcalls. And it's not necessarily just somebody saying, hey, do you want to drink here? Do you want to eat here? Do you want to buy this? Do you want to buy that? It's when I say, no, thank you, just calm down. But I could say that anywhere in the world, and I just say, calm down, but it's all good. I did, however, like the guy that called me Big Daddy one day. He said, Big Daddy, I've got stuff for you to buy for the queen and for the boys. And then the next day he said, Big Daddy, I remember you. So, you know, not all bad. But overall, staying here for a week already, I can tell you that I regret absolutely nothing about our purchase here. We love our home, we love our area, and we love the city overall. We love how close we are to the beach. We love how close we are to the ruins. We're actually going to see Uxmal later in this trip, and I'm very excited about that. But for a year in, kind of worried about how the rental thing was going to go, worried if we made the right decision, because it was very quick in a long period of time before we actually got to the place. I regret nothing. I will tell you that, as I said at the beginning of the video, just get ready. If you own a place down here and you do rent it, you're going to have that kind of people have already lived in here feeling. Just mentally prepare for that. If I'd been mentally prepared for it, I would have been completely fine. Because I wasn't. I was a little disappointed, but by the time I woke up the next day, I mean, come on, you're still in paradise. But the number one takeaway that I want you to think about from this, whether it's Progreso, whether it's from Merida or the Yucatan in general, the future potential for this place is absolutely unreal. The investment that they are putting into the city is remarkable. The investment that they've already put into the Malecon and Progreso in general is outstanding. And I know that we want to keep things as they were, but at the same time, I also want you to realize that a city that invests in itself is going to be so much better than a city that just tries to maintain, because it's just like trying to grow a business. If you're not growing, you're dying. And I can tell you right now, Yucatan is far from dying. It's living its best life. So again, my name is Alexander Howell. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, if you want to contact me at Alexander from KC, all of this information is down in the description below, so just check out down there. If you are still here, I would very much appreciate if you hit that like button. You obviously survived to this point, but hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. That's going to give you access to everything on my channel. Thank you to the patrons and to the members. All the Patreon links are down below, as well as if you hit that membership button, that allows you to kind of be more a part of this channel, and there are some perks there as well. And if you hit that little bell, that's notification that lets you know anytime one of these videos goes live. I always try to be there when one of these videos starts. Also, when I go live, you will be the first to know about that as well. Text 816-727-7740. Email alexander@alexanderhowell.com. Guys, I have an entire month to be down here. I cannot wait to communicate with so much more of you, hopefully meet up with a few of you. And as always, peace.